Hi everyone and welcome to the Roland YouTube channel. Today I'm going to take you through the Boss GP-10 guitar processor. The GP-10 combines Roland's rich heritage of guitar synthesis and Boss's history of amplifier and effects technology. In today's video I'm going to break down the GP-10 into 7 separate categories, and those sections are tunings, modeling, or the different types of guitars, pickups and amps that are generated by the GP-10, effects, poly effects, synths, onboard USB functionality, and finally Boss Tone Studio and Boss Tone Central. Now, to utilize all of the functions of the GP-10, you'll need a guitar that's equipped with a Roland GK pickup. The GP-10 connects to your GK equipped guitar with a specialized 13-pin cable. The guitar I'm using today is the Fender GC1 Stratocaster. This is powered by Roland and it has a GK divided pickup just here at the bridge. Now you can also install a separate pickup onto your favorite guitar, the GK3, and this will access the world of sounds that the GP-10 and all the other Roland GR products will provide. However, a nice additional feature of the GP-10 that we haven't seen before on this kind of multi-effects processor is the inclusion of a regular guitar jack in. So even without the 13-pin output on my guitar, I can still access all of the GP-10's guitar effects and amp models with a standard guitar. One last thing before we get into the first section is that I'm using Boss Tone Studio, as you can see behind me. I'm using this to control all of the parameters that are going on inside the GP-10 itself. Boss Tone Studio makes it really easy to access every single tone and it's completely free. So if you already have a GP-10, just simply go to www.bosstonecentral.com and download it straight away. Alright, so let's kick off the first section of today's video, and that's tunings. Based on V-guitar technology that was pioneered almost 20 years ago and incorporating an all-new DSP technology from Roland, the GP-10 gives you immediate access to a multitude of different tunings. At the touch of a button you can play slide and open tunings like G and E, enjoy shimmering 12-string tones, or drop your entire guitar down in semitone steps for massive, ultra-heavy riffs. Right now I'm going to show you some of the preset sounds, but there are heaps of spare user patches in the GP-10 as well, and these will allow you to customize and instantly recall your favorite tunings at a later stage. Let's start off with a really cool one. This is the Nashville tuning preset, but before we do, here's a clean tone for reference. And now let's hear that same riff, but with the Nashville preset engaged. Next tuning I'm going to show you is Drop D, and this time I've dialed in a high gain amp model, and this is just to demonstrate how seamless the tuning and amp modeling integration is. Okay, so maybe dropping down to Drop D isn't enough. Maybe I need to shift the entire guitar down a semitone, a tone, a fifth, or even an octave. Now all of this is really easily achievable using the GP-10, so here's a patch in E flat tuning. Now of course I can take the entire tuning down an octave and use this to replicate bass features, and in the GP-10 you've got 3 different types of bass presets to choose from. There's a jazz bass, a precision bass, and even a fretless. So let's take a listen to one of those presets now. So I've just been showing you how the GP-10 can take you down a semitone, a tone, or even an octave. But what if you want to bring things up? The GP-10 gives you full capo emulation, and in this next patch, it's as if there's a capo on the 7th fret of the guitar, and that sounds like this. As I mentioned earlier, the V-guitar system means that we can also blend in the guitar's true pickups along with our virtual tuning. So in this next patch here, although I've got a capo at the 7th fret in the virtual world, my guitar is actually tuned to A440. And by combining these two sounds and using the volume dials to mix, I can get a wonderful blend and a really unique tone. Okay, so I've just taken you through some of the tuning presets on the GP-10. I highly recommend downloading Boss Tone Studio so you can easily edit these patches even further and go on to create your own unique presets. Alright, so let's move on to the next category, and this is modeling. The GP-10 gives you access to a huge range of different guitar types, pickup types and amplifiers, all of which you can chop and change, giving you unlimited sonic possibilities. There are literally so many combinations to be had that we'd be here for days if I wanted to show them all to you, so right now I'm just going to go through a few of the presets. In this first patch we're emulating a Les Paul electric guitar body model with the guitar in the rear pickup position, and this is running through a really tasty 1959 Mark II amplifier. Now it's not just guitar body modeling in the GP-10, of course we've also got different string configurations as well, and when we combine the two we can create some pretty unique tones. In this next patch we've combined a 12 string with a Ricky type guitar. In regards to pickup types, we're certainly not limited to humbuckers. Here's a P90 style pickup that's running through that same 1959 Mark II that I showed you earlier. Okay, I hope that gives you a better grasp of some of the electric guitar modelling capabilities of the GP-10. Okay, moving on to acoustic modelling, we've got a whole whack of these, including sitars, banjos and resonators, as well as a bunch of really popular acoustic guitar models. Let's take a listen to a couple of the presets now. Of course, we can also have a nylon style acoustic guitar, and that sounds a little something like this. Now the GP-10 has stacks of amp modelling inside, emulating different styles, cabinet styles and speaker sizes, even down to the placement of the microphone. Right now I'm going to play through three completely different amp types, a JC-120, an American Combo and a British stack, all controlled via Boss Tone Studio. Now the GP-10 amp models capture the essence of these classic amps and provides a wealth of tones in one package. Okay, so that really is just scratching the surface of the modelling capabilities of the GP-10, but as you can see, by using the V-Guitar system, we can pretty much change up every last detail of the amp and guitar that we're working with. This leads us quite nicely onto the next section, which are the guitar effects. Now, the first thing you have to know is that the GP-10 draws its guitar effects processing from the GT range of multi-effects processors that Boss have been putting out for a very long time. All the classics are on board with multiple versions of each effect. In fact, the GP-10 boasts over 21 overdrives and distortions, 6 wahs, and a huge array of reverbs, delays and modulations that you'd find on, say, a GT-100. Now, having the GP-10 is like having a studio of Boss stomp boxes at your feet. Now, I know you know these tones, but I'm just going to quickly, and just for fun, run through a few of them for you now. And now for some of the distortion tones inside the GP-10. Now, poly effects are a little different to regular guitar effects, and as a result they warrant their own category. What we're doing here is we're treating each string on the guitar as a monophonic instrument, and we're affecting each one of those strings independently. We're then bringing the signal back together and running them through whatever amplifier or effects chain that's in our patch. By placing a pitch shifter, modulation or envelope effect on each string, we can create a complex, rich effect that a typical stomp box just can't do. Alright, in this example we're going to be listening to a crystal-like effect. I want you to hear how it shimmers underneath the notes with a metallic-like resonance. There are a few different preset settings for the poly effects, including rich modulation, distortion, and a slow pad. Alright, let's move on to the next category and take a look at the synth section of the GP-10. The GP-10 includes an impressive analog modelled synth engine, and it models classic guitar synthesizers like the iconic GR-300, and that's exactly where we're going to start. The other two synth models in the GP-10, the oscillator synth and the wave synth, allow you to transform your guitar into a really fat synthesizer. You can customize your waveform type, filter settings, envelope and modulation settings to emulate these classic synth tones. Choose a pair of sawtooth waves for a brassy trumpet-like lead tone, or lengthen the attack of the amp envelope and add some effects for a classic string synth sound, like in this patch. Now, as I showed you earlier in the tuning section, blending the guitar's true pickups with the GP-10 is really simple. In this next patch here, I'm blending in the pickups to create a fifth harmony. Alright, moving on. The USB capabilities of the GP-10 not only make all the different sections of the unit controllable and customizable via Boss Tone Studio, but also very easily recordable. With this slot on the back of the unit, your GP-10 can communicate with your DAW software directly, allowing you to record both audio and MIDI information. In fact, the GP-10 has the ability to record a separate MIDI track for each string, stereo left and right audio out, and a mono out as well. This USB functionality is brilliant when you approach things like reamping or re-guitaring, which is made even easier when you use the Boss Tone Studio software. Now is as good a time as any to introduce Boss Tone Central and Boss Tone Studio. Think of Boss Tone Central as a library that's offering you the latest sound patches for Boss guitar processors and multi-effects for free. Additionally, Boss Tone Central is also home to a plethora of different patches created by some of today's most innovative guitarists. On Boss Tone Central, you're going to find the software, which is Boss Tone Studio, and this is free to download, and I reckon you should do it right away. Boss Tone Studio is a digital representation of what's going on inside your Boss unit. Using it allows you to customize every tone in the GP-10 signal chain to make each sound your own. Additionally, things like reamping and re-guitaring are made so easy with the GP-10 and its USB functionality. Once you've downloaded the Boss Tone Studio software, simply click on the USB routing button on the top right hand corner of the main page and scroll down to re-guitaring or reamping. Re-guitaring allows you to record each string independently as if it were a different instrument. We can manipulate the sound of each string and then re-record it all. Reamping allows us to send a pre-recorded signal from our DAW software through the GP-10 and audition whatever amplifier we want to in real time. Then, as mentioned in the modelling section, we can select the cabinet type, the speaker size, and even the mic placement to get really creative with our sound. Alright, so that's the Boss GP-10 guitar effects processor. I hope it's now clear what a powerhouse this unit is. Its tuning capabilities open up a world of different configurations that would otherwise take hours of winding to attain. The superior modelling grants you access to a wide variety of sounds that you can freely mix and match in order to create your very own custom tones. The onboard effects are classic Boss sounds taken from our flagship multi-effects units like the GT-100, or you can experiment with the truly unique poly effects. The synth engine in the GP-10 lets you turn your 6 strings into a powerful synthesizer. And lastly, with full audio and MIDI USB connectivity, the GP-10 can integrate seamlessly into your home studio, and when used in conjunction with Boss Tone Studio, has unbeatable customizable potential. Okay, that was a lot of information and you'd be excused for just wanting to go and play guitar if you haven't done so already. However, I hope you found this video on the Boss GP-10 informative. Please subscribe to our channel, we're always putting up fresh content. Feel free to ask questions in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.